Hey everybody, Corey back again, here to talk about Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary just released on the Xbox platform, PC, and console, both on Game Pass. Let's jump right in. Monster Sanctuary is the blend of turn-based RPG and metroidvania platforming, all in a 2D pixel art world. Now, I went into this game completely blind, and I came out on the positive side because I grew up in the Pokemon world, and I have recently became a very big fan of Metroidvania games. So this was actually a perfect blend of the two genres. Now, at its heart, Monster Sanctuary is about the turn-based RPG battling system. As you begin your journey through this world, you will start to combat different monsters that you can see in the overworld as you do your platforming. And as you encounter them, you will be brought into turn-based combat, where you can select 3 monsters out of your current team of 6 to fight your opponents, whether they are wild monsters or the champions that you are looking for. As you fight and you travel throughout the land, you will grow your monsters' levels and experience, in which you can enhance their skill tree, and along the way you are able to equip different items, feed the monsters different things to change their stats in various ways. It becomes very complex on how you can manage these monsters. The next question you might ask is, how do you get the monsters? Well, different from the typical Pokemon style of capturing the monsters, these monsters come from eggs that you get from battling other monsters. As you defeat them, they will drop eggs, and then you can choose to hatch those eggs and keep them for yourself, or do something else with them a little later. Now, as you go into each battle, like I said, you can choose 3 different monsters. It doesn't matter the 3 as long as they are in your party of 6. And this is to your advantage, as you can see your enemies and their weaknesses and their attacks, and you can choose to strategize properly for the upcoming battle. Now, you do this, as you would think, a lot in this game as you continue the story and fight the other champions that you are out for, and that is the turn-based portion of the game. Now, I did say it was very complex, and that sounded very simple, but trust me, you can get into some very deep modifications depending on, like I said, the food, the items that you start to equip on your monsters, and the skills that you choose to level them up with. I did mention that this is also a Metroidvania, and that is clearly the case when you get to the overworld. You are traveling again in this 2D pixel art world. You are jumping and figuring out different puzzles, using your monsters to get to certain areas outside of combat, reaching different areas that you may not be able to get to yet and having to revisit later. There's that Metroidvania feel to it, and it actually controls really well. Even though you can tell Metroidvania is not the primary genre here, it is turn-based RPG. They do a very fine job in the overworld. So up until this point, I have not finished the game at 100%. I am still on my way through the story, and I'm enjoying it very much. The combat is very relaxed. I feel like I can have this going while do something else, or if I really need it to, I can focus all onto the game and have a great time, and time just passes by when that happens. One unique thing they do with the combat is a combo system, so you really have to strategize and think when you're going to do certain attacks based off how many moves they might do in order to increase your combo, which then affects later moves. And then, of course, the order in which you use your monsters will also come into play as well. So it's more than just attacking with this monster, then this monster, then this monster. You really want to know how that turn will affect your next move. Now, this is really good and great. This is a fantastic single player game, but they have also added multiplayer. There is PvP multiplayer in this game, which is really, really cool. You can choose to battle people online with your team of monsters to see who will come out on top. That was totally unexpected. When I saw it, I just thought, wow, now that is a level above where I expected this game to give me in terms of features. Other things that I want to mention, at least on the Xbox platform, like I said, this is currently on Game Pass at launch, which is really fantastic. There is a PC and an Xbox version. The Xbox version is also xCloud enabled, allowing you to play this game on the go. And to be quite honest, this would be the perfect on-the-go game. Just load it up, do a few battles here and there when you have the time and you have a free moment, and then save it and then pick it up later. It really works well in that regard. As far as the downside of the game, I really didn't find too much to be down about. The battling does or can get very repetitive, but they do a good job of trying to combat that with their rating system. As you can see, once you're done with the battle, you are given a rating, and various factors determine your final score in the form of stars. This gives you that carrot on the stick to come back after your monsters have been leveled up and see how much better you can do. This definitely comes into play when we're talking about the champion monsters I mentioned. Those are the monsters that we are trying to find throughout the game, and as we defeat them, there is a section in the safe part of the map, as I'll call it, that allows you to rebattle these monsters and try to get a better rating. And the rating all comes into play when we're talking about the loot that we get on the back end of a battle. The rewards that come from these are based on the rating system, and obviously the better rating, the better gear you will get, including the eggs that will get you more monsters. All in all, I really had a great time with Monster Sanctuary. I'm not done with it. I will be going back to it, and I will continue the game. I especially like the xCloud features of it. This is definitely a top pick for games that I will be playing on the go when I'm able to. I hope you enjoyed seeing this gameplay. Please go to xboxtavern.com and you can see the final score for Monster Sanctuary. Thank you.